Hey Katie.
Hey Alex.
Great to meet up with you here on Mozart Snapshots again.
Thanks. Great to meet you too, as always. So, remember when we were here back in the fall and we visited the Illuminati Höhle, which is believed to be the inspiration for the setting of the magic flute, we also met Mundi, who is a Freemason.
I remember.
Well, today we are going to talk about Mozart the Freemason. And we came back here because Schloss Aigen and the castle grounds, complete with the church, were actually an important secret meeting place for the Freemasons and the Illuminati.
That's right. But what is Wolfer's connection to Schloss Aigen?
The connection is that he and his father Leopold knew the owner of Schloss Aigen quite well. He was a man named Basil von Amann. And Basil had the whole grounds designed not only to be a beautiful park, but also to be an area where the members of the Apollo Lodge could come for their regular secret meetings. And therefore, it is truly believed that they met in the Illuminati Höhle. However, the Mozart family connection goes back even a little bit farther. So come with me and let me show you something.
Mm-hmm.
So, the family connection is that on the 21st of November, 1747, Leopold Mozart and Anna Maria Pertl celebrated their engagement in this very church. So let's go on inside.
So, did this continue to be a special place for the Mozarts?
It did indeed. You know, Maria Anna actually wrote in her diary that even on that very last visit of Wolfgang and Constanze to Salzburg, the entire family came here on the 29th of September, 1783. Beyond that, much later in 1829, when Constanze was visited by the British musician and publisher Vincent Novello and his wife Mary, she came here because, according to their memoirs, Constanze, then 67 years old at the time, said that this was one of the most special places for Mozart, going all the way back to his childhood. According to her, he absolutely adored the picturesque landscape of Schloss Aigen, as well as the entire romantic complex here. And so because of that, it seems quite realistic to imagine that the grotto with its waterfall, or the Illuminati Höhle, was actually a inspiration for the magic flute setting.
This is interesting. So tell me, when did Mozart become a Freemason?
He was initiated into Austrian Freemasonry on the 14th of December, 1784. The lodge to which he was admitted was called Zur Wohltätigkeit, and it was a Catholic Reform lodge committed to the ideal of charity.
Did Mozart have many Freimaurer friends?
He did indeed. Da Ponte, Schikaneder, Joseph Haydn, the Esterhazys, Baron von Swieten, his brother-in-law Joseph Lange, just to mention a few. And actually, at least 1 in 4 subscribers of his concerts were documented lodge members. And this was quite typical, actually, of the society that he moved in. And initially, just a few months after he became a Freemason, he also had his father initiated into Freemasonry during Leopold's visit to Vienna in 1785.
And why did Wolfer become a Freimaurer?
Well, Freemasonry probably appealed to his belief in human dignity, in brotherhood, as well as the ideals of the Enlightenment as they were espoused by the Freemasons. But beyond that, becoming a Mason also contributed to his circle of patrons and friends.
So the Freimaurer were not only an ideological match for Wolfer, but also a practical support to him.
That's exactly right, because when he moved to Vienna and became an independent musician without the support of the Archbishop or anybody else, he really had to rely on groups like the Freemasons in order to build up his social network, to have concerts, to get commissions for compositions, and he also relied upon them a lot for financial help. Because as you know, later in Mozart's life, he unfortunately incurred quite a lot of debts. And it got so bad at a certain point that he was really asking all of his friends and acquaintances for financial help. In this respect, the Masons really made a big difference for him. And there was one guy in particular, and this was a man named Johann Michael von Puchberg. And from around the year 1788, Mozart wrote at least 21 letters to Puchberg begging for financial help, which Puchberg actually supplied to him in the form of loans ranging from 30 to 300 florins.
And did Mozart pay Puchberg back?
Well, by 1791, Mozart's whole life was kind of turning around because he was enjoying one of the most successful times of his whole professional life. And that meant, of course, not only success with compositions, but also financial success. And so he was beginning then to pay Puchberg back. Unfortunately, Mozart then died in December of that year. And so the rest of the loans were not paid back until years later when Constanze herself was in a financial position to be able to pay off more or less all of Mozart's debts.
We already spoke about the Masonic influences in die Zauberflöte. Mm-hmm. But did Wolfgang compose other works specifically for the Freimaurer?
He did. He composed at least 8 works for the Freimaurer. And what's particularly interesting is that the very last composition that he completed was the Kleine Freimaurer Kantate, K623, a work for the Freemasons.
I wonder what it was like to be a Freimaurer.
Well, let's let Mundi Downer tell us. Servus, Mundi.
Hey, grüß dich.
Du bist ein richtiger Freimaurer und Mozart war auch Freimaurer. Und obwohl der Freimaurer erst in Wien geworden ist, viele Leute glauben, dass schon viel mit den Freimaurern hier in Salzburg zu tun hat, weil sein Vater Leopold ist auch Freimaurer geworden und war sowieso der Enkel und Großneffe von Freimaurer. Und es gab hier zu Mozart-Zeiten schon die Apollo-Loge. So wie ist das, ein Freimaurer in Salzburg zu sein?
Ja, ich gehe davon aus, also so wie überall auf der Welt, weil Freimaurer ja international tätig sind. Mhm. Üblicherweise ist es so, dass man irgendwem auffällt, der dann bei der Loge, beim Meister vom Stuhl, wie der Leiter der Loge heißt, dann den Vorschlag unterbreitet, man hätte jemanden, der sich interessiert, und dann werden 2 Informatoren einmal bestimmt, die diejenige Person ansprechen, die sich interessiert oder die auserkoren ist, also vielleicht Mitglied zu sein. Und die informieren sich über die Person, über den Charakter der Person, ohne dass sie preisgeben, Freimaurer zu sein. Mhm. Und nach diesen 2 Informatorengesprächen wird Bericht erstattet in der Loge. Und daraufhin ein dritter Informant oder Informator geschickt, der sich aber dann als Freimaurer zu erkennen gibt und direkt die Person darauf anspricht, ob er Mitglied werden will. Und dann wird darüber Beschluss gefasst, also in der Loge durch die sogenannte Kugelung. Mhm. Und da darf es nicht mehr als 2 negative Stimmen geben, sonst ist man eigentlich weltweit ausgeschlossen, als Freimaurer aufgenommen zu werden. Also Aufgabe des Freimaurers ist grundsätzlich, dass man Menschlichkeit und Brüderlichkeit, wie es im Gelübde heißt, nicht nur in der Theorie, das heißt in der Loge, sondern im Leben in Taten umsetzt.
Mozart hat eigentlich in den letzten Jahren von seinem Leben viele finanzielle Unterstützung von anderen Freimaurern bekommen. Ist das immer noch so, dass wenn man in einer Freimaurerloge ist und Hilfe braucht, die anderen Mitglieder in der Loge da sind?
Ja, das ist also Tradition. Mhm. Auch wenn ein Freimaurer stirbt, also gibt es einen entsprechenden Hilfsbeitrag, also für die Witwe, Beitrag zum Begräbnis. Also, und wenn ein Freimaurer in Not ist, also gibt es selbstverständliche Unterstützung.
Okay. Also Mozart hat 8 Stücke für die Freimaurer komponiert. Welche Bedeutung hat Musik für die Freimaurer und wie wurde Musik eigentlich benutzt?
Musik hat noch immer eine Bedeutung, weil auch bei unseren Sitzungen, die wir haben, wird immer wieder mit Musikbegleitung dazwischen, insbesondere gerne Mozart gespielt, aber nicht verpflichtend. Man weiß auch, dass der Mozart zumindest die in Europa gültige Freimaurerhymne, zufällig jetzt die österreichische Staatshymne, komponiert hat, und zwar extra für die Freimaurer. Die ist also zufällig also dann ausgewählt worden, ohne dass es also die Bevölkerung wusste. Ich wusste das auch nicht, als ich zu den Freimaurern kam. Das war nämlich in Deutschland ursprünglich, und hörte dort die Klänge der österreichischen Bundeshymne. Habe ich mich sofort schlau gemacht, warum. Und dann hat man mir erklärt, das ist die Freimaurerhymne, die hat Mozart nicht für Österreich oder Salzburg, sondern für die Freimaurer komponiert.
Interessant. Also, vielen herzlichen Dank. Ich habe sehr viele interessante Dinge gelernt über Freimaurer.
Ich hoffe, dass ein
Herzlichen
bisschen was
Dank.
Interessantes
Ja,
dabei
es war sicher interessant.
Okay.
Dankeschön.
Alles Gute.